my name is Teresa of Chopstick and Succulents, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how I maintain this container full of succulents, as well as share with you a few random beneficial tips. This large planter was given to me by our next door neighbor. We both like planting succulents, and we swap plants sometimes, and he gave me this container. I decided to plant low-growing succulents together in this planter, and I opted for mostly echeverias. I also make some crassulas here simply because I need smaller succulents to fill some gaps. Last springtime, they were much more colorful, and some of them bloomed too. Look at these beautiful flowers of the crassula, and these gorgeous flowers of echeveria. And all this was from last spring. There's not a lot of maintenance required for this container of succulents. When it comes to watering, I water this once the whole month and they are fine. And since I planted this more than 6 months ago, this is the first time I have refreshed this. To maintain this planter, all I need to do is remove some old flower stalks, some dead leaves, and some weeds. And there's also a small gap in the middle that I need to fill. The dead flower stalks can be easily pulled out. But sometimes when the arrangement is compact like this, removing the dried leaves and weeds can be a bit challenging. You have to find ways of removing them without disturbing the leaves of some plants, because some have delicate leaves that can easily drop off when you accidentally bumped it. That's why this tweezer is my favorite tool, because it can reach areas that are hard for me to access. You need one with a good grip to make your work enjoyable and so much easier. Other succulents have these prunus coatings for their protection, and you want to avoid damaging them because these are their first line of defense. Take a look at this echeveria afterglow. See this pale whitish coating? This is called Farina or Epicuticular wax. The pale grayish film that coats the leaves of some succulents. If you touch this, it feels slippery and waxy, but if you do so, it can rub off this coating. And that's what you need to avoid because this coating has several beneficial functions. The main role of epicuticular wax is to prevent surface wetting. Let me show you a little experiment. When the coating is intact, water slips down easily without the leaf getting wet. But when it is damaged, this is what happens. This coating is for their protection. It protects the leaves from getting wet and acts as a self-cleaning element, preventing dirt from sticking onto the leaves, as well as protection from insects by making their leaves slippery so they can't cling to it. This coating also protects the leaves from getting sunburned by reflecting the sunlight, and also help them keep their stored water by reducing moisture loss. So, knowing all these benefits that the plant gets from this coating, you would ensure that it's intact, right? But when you are working with succulents planted close together, it's hard to avoid not touching some leaves. So try to use a gadget to avoid damaging these delicate ones. Before I plant more succulents on the gap here, let me share with you some good news. If you are new to succulents and you are still not sure on how to keep them alive, I have a free online course for you. It's Growing Succulents with Clarity and Confidence, a beginner's guide to successfully grow succulents. It will transform you from a confused beginner to a confident succulent grower. It's a 45 minutes total video lessons that will help you understand what succulents are, what makes them different from other plants, and help you find out what are their greatest strengths so that you can use them to your advantage, and learn their weakness so that you will avoid making mistakes. It will also teach you the 10 major mistakes you should avoid and the essential guides to be successful. So if you're interested, check the link in the description below. And yes, it is free. Now, going back to what we are doing, in this cup, I planted some echeverias as well. Now, when you are grooming your plants, take time to look for problems like the presence of pests like mealybugs or aphids, and do your necessary treatments. So far, all the plants are fine. When working with your succulents, take your time and enjoy whatever you are doing, be it watering, weeding, grooming, or just simply looking at them. And there you go, a refreshed container of succulents. I hope you learned something new today, and if you want to get the tweezers, I will leave a link in the description below. Take care for now.